Hello and welcome to NPAD 513, Nonprofit Financial Management. This is fall 2023, and I'm really excited that you chose to take this class. I know there's a number of different paths and electives, so thank you very much. And I hope that you glean a ton of really practical information from this course. So what I'd like to do today is share the Moodle Shell outline with you and take a peek at your syllabus. So without further ado, I should probably tell you a little bit about my qualifications. I'm a CPA and a CMA. I have a master's in accounting and another one in green business. And I think I've taught this class probably, gosh, I don't know, 10, 11 times for the Department of Public Administration and Policy. And I'm very active in the nonprofit community as board member, volunteer, treasurers, consultant, etc. So I really commend you for the field that you've chosen and that you're in, and I hope that I can add value to you, to your career. So let's go and take a peek at the shell. So you're here obviously, or you wouldn't have found this video. The introduction page is again here. You wouldn't be here if you weren't looking at this video. So what I really want to do is just show you how the class is lined out. So there's we're together 10 weeks, and it's an asynchronous class, so we don't have a class meeting time. But my hope is that in week 5, and again at the culmination of the class, that we can establish a synchronous Zoom time to all meet. It's the only way I know of to personalize an online class. So I'll be sending out a doodle poll, 2 doodle polls, one for week 5 and one for the culmination of the class. And hopefully we can find a time when all 12 of us can meet. It will definitely be at night because most of us have regular daytime jobs. So anyways, that's the format of the class. Each week is set up on the shell the same way. It tells you when the week starts, so the week of August 28th, what the topic is, financial terms and statements, and then the overview. So this section is getting you up to speed with vocabulary, fitting the pieces of the accounting puzzle together, and defining basic tenets of accounting for a nonprofit. I will ask you to complete these tasks. So you're going to introduce yourself by August 31st, do the readings listed below. There's no textbook for the class. There's a series of PDFs that are that have been scanned and made accessible. And some chapters have lectures that I've prepared. Some have links to other experts that are speaking to the topic. And I think 1 or 2 don't have lectures at all. So if there is a lecture video, it will say view the lecture video, submit the assignment that's due by September 3rd, and sign up for your 2 Zoom synchronous sessions. You'll receive 2 emails from me. What are the outcomes? What do I want you to be able to do at the culmination of the semester? Identify and define commonly used financial terms, and delineate the financial statements for nonprofit. And then here's your 3 items that I would like you to read. Here's the video. It's a captioned YouTube video. It's actually not there yet, but it will be by the time you see this. And then here are your documents for your reading. And then here is your place to submit your assignment. Sorry, I did take a pause there. And then the actual assignment is here. Complete your readings, and then using these figures, answer these questions. There was a math error on one of the figures, so I've discussed that down here. But at any rate, each unit is set up exactly that same way, right? Overview, outcomes, readings and resources, tasks, assignment, and or discussion forum. So that is basically how the class looks. Let's go over here now to my other screen and we'll take a look at the syllabus. So here's the introduction. Oh, gosh. Here's the introduction to the course. It's fall 2023. Here's the CRN. This is in the online program in nonprofit administration. These are links to our collaborators, Montana Nonprofit Association. It's offered through Online, and it's the Department of Public Administration and Policy. So this is a 10-week course. Getting a hold of me, I do provide you with my mobile number because I'm physically not on my landline in my office too terribly often. So if you have something that you really need to chat with me about, I have made that available. Here's my email. And then I'm on the River campus, University of Montana River campus, Missoula College, from 2 to 3 on Mondays and Wednesdays, but really probably more appropriately am available to have one-on-one appointments via Zoom at your convenience. And I really encourage you to let me know what you need. If you'd like to do any one-on-one work together, if you don't understand a concept, that's what I'm here for. So please let me know. So the way that the syllabus outlines our weekly plan and outcomes coincides with the shell that I just showed you. So I give you the topic, the learning objectives, the requirements, and the due dates, and the number of points. So it basically just reiterates exactly what you'll see on the shell. If you want to have something physically in front of you, these 2 pages would be the great ones to print out so that you've got an idea, an overview of when things are due. You'll see a couple weeks like the budgeting week. We don't have anything due because that's a 2-week project. I think every other week. Yep, every other week you have something due, and the Guide Star, which is a research tool for nonprofits, our session on that will have 2 items due, or 2 projects due that week. So anyways, this is your overview. In the 5th week, as I said earlier, you're gonna participate in instructor-led synchronous Zoom, where I'm gonna give you some prompts to prepare, and then we're gonna discuss them together. And then my intention is for the last week that we're going to establish a time where you can each present your results of your research paper, which is one of the requirements of the course. So the paper itself, I've outlined here what I'd like you to do. It's a research paper. It's due November 3rd. And I'm really leaving it super open. It's whatever coincides with your particular interest that has something to do with nonprofit financial management. So, and then I give you prompts or deliverables that I would like your paper to address, right? So overview, key points, I mean, you can read down this. Where could additional research be important? And what was your primary takeaway? And then obviously it's an academic level paper, graduate level paper, so your citation page. And it's a 2-page, 11-point paper. So it's a challenge oftentimes to synthesize, especially if it's a complex topic, into just a couple pages. So just have that in the back of your mind, thinking about as we sort of start to unpack the class and the content, what you may be interested in doing your paper on. So as I said earlier, the course materials are all in the weekly shells. I will honestly communicate with you in whatever way works for you. You can email me. If there's no other modality, you can call. We have discussion forums, clearly. One thing that is important is that you use your email account through the University of Montana to communicate with me, because that's how I verify that it's actually you. I'm sure most of you spend a lot of time, communicating and engaging with colleagues and peers and supervisors and clients and what have you online. But just as a refresher, here are the expectations and an outline of netiquette, sorts of how you present yourself online, professionalism, compassion, showing respect and engagement with your fellow students. These are some areas that speak to sort of the logistics of the class, technical support. If you're having any sort of struggle with Moodle, you should go to the UM Solution Center or call. I am sadly not able to help with any tech issues. If you have any accommodation needs, please make sure that you contact ODE and get engage with them and get a letter to me so that I can provide you whatever accessibility you may need. Any issues with grading or withdrawal, you need to go directly to the administrator for the nonprofit online course or program. Your evaluations, I've given, as I said, on those first 2 pages are points for each sub-assignment. And I will grade each of those individually and then accumulate the points. No late homework is accepted. If you've got something that's, a showstopper excuse like work project or something going on with kids or family or whatever, I mean, I'm certainly amenable to a conversation about it, but in general, I would need to be notified if anything is happening. It's important that all documents are either in Word or Excel or PDF. I can't, I'll get submissions from students that use sort of off-brand, so to speak, software, and oftentimes I can't open those. So please make sure to let me know. Here's my grading matrix for the discussion forums, and I'm not going to sit and read this through to you, but to get the full 8 to 10 points, it needs to be at an exceptional level, and then I give you very specific indicators as to what that looks like, above average, etc. So, and then the grading scale is a straight 90, 80, 70, 60. So with that, thank you very much for choosing this class again. I look forward to getting to know you and welcome. Bye.